My name is Leo, and I'm a mapper. Not of those old-timey maps with dragons on the edges, but modern, digital ones. My job is to map what the rest of the city tries to forget, the labyrinth of ancient sewer tunnels under Los Angeles. Thousands of miles of brick, concrete, and cutting darkness. I do it for the municipal architects, but really, I'm looking for something else. Looking for proof. Proof of what I heard that day when my helmet cam cut out for 3 minutes and 40 seconds in Sector 7GE near the old Los Angeles River channel. I heard singing. Not the sound of water or wind. Singing. Low, resonant, like the movement of the earth and made of words my mind refused to recognize. They sounded not as if they were spoken, but as if they were grown in the damp air. Today, I came back. In my backpack batteries, laser scanners, an air sampler, and a pistol I'd only ever fired at the range. The pistol was for me, for courage. I knew it was useless. The descent into this particular manhole was always different. It wasn't on the main blueprints, framed by Victorian-era brickwork done by hand. The air here didn't smell just of sewage. It smelled of old meat, salty, sour, with hints of almond and copper, a smell that made your stomach clench. I went half a mile, my flashlight cutting through the thick darkness that seemed to swallow sound. The walls here weren't just dirty. They were scratched. At first, I thought it was graffiti, the work of stalkers. But upon closer look, they were hieroglyphs. Not Egyptian, not Sumerian. Something more organic. Wavy lines resembled intestines, bone joints, woven into the outlines of faces that had no eyes, only maws. My scanner started flickering. The temperature dropped sharply. A damp cold pierced my protective suit like needles. And then I heard it again. The singing. This time, it was closer, and not alone. It was a choir. Dozens, hundreds of voices coming from the depths of the tunnel, merging into that same terrible hymn. But among them were other sounds. Weeping, whispers, prayer. I recognized the words, "Don't leave us here, please, Mom." They were human voices. Voices recorded, absorbed, and played back by this system. I wanted to run. Every nerve screamed at me to do it. But my legs, as if rooted in the sticky floor, moved forward toward the sound. Like a sailor drawn to a siren song, the tunnel widened into a cavern. Not a natural one, but man-made. Its vault lost in darkness. The air here was thick, hard to breathe. My flashlight snatched fragments from the gloom. The walls were covered with a collection, not bones, as one might expect, but things, thousands of things. Watches stopped at different times. Shoes, children's, women's, men's, arranged in neat rows. Glasses with lenses scratched as if dragged across concrete. Bags, keys, wallets. This was an archive. A catalog. A trophy room of what the city had lost and never searched for. And in the middle, on a throne made of interwoven pipes and railroad tracks, sat it. Words failed to describe it. It wasn't a person. It was a consequence. The fruit of centuries of hunger living in darkness, feeding not just on flesh, but on the very fact of existence, on forgetfulness, on fear. Its skin, pale and gelatinous, reflected my flashlight's beam like slick stone. The body was elongated, with impossibly long limbs draped over the throne, fingers thin and longer than a human hand, quietly drumming on the metal. But the face was the worst. It had no nose, only two slits. The mouth was too wide, slit from cheek to cheek, but now was pursed into something thoughtful. And the eyes. The eyes were completely black, deep, like the tunnels themselves. They had no whites, no pupils, just two drops of liquid darkness, observing. They turned to me, and the singing stopped. The silence that fell was louder than any noise. It pressed on my eardrums. Leo. The voice didn't come from the mouth. It arose in my head, cold, raw, as if a piece of raw meat were applied to my brain. The cartographer. You came to finish the map. I couldn't speak. My jaw just trembled. All of them. The voice came again, and the walls of the cavern seemed to rustle, were sure their path was correct. They got lost. You didn't get lost. You were seeking. You know what's here. It rose. Its movements were not human. They were fluid, breaking, as if the bones inside were made of rubber. It didn't walk. It flowed across the space, its long fingers gliding over its collection, over a child's shoe with a lover's tenderness. The city up above. It only rents the space, the voice hissed, filling the cavern. It forgets. It discards. It loses. And I preserve. I remember every taste, every fear, every last groan. They live in me. Together. Forever. It was just a few steps away now. The smell was unbearable, cloyingly rotten. The aroma of 1,000 burials in a damp place. Your map, it whispered, and I felt something cold and wet touch my mind like a tongue, will remain unfinished. But you will become part of the collection. Your consciousness, your terror, your voice will join the choir. You will sing with us, Leo. Sing forever of the darkness waiting beneath the feet of the laughing city. Its hand, long and pale, reached for my face. A finger, tipped not with a nail, but with something sharp and black like obsidian, aimed at my forehead. And then I understood the terrible truth. This wasn't a cannibal in the usual sense. It didn't just consume bodies. It was a parasite of the city's consciousness. It fed on loss, trauma, forgetfulness. Every person who vanished in these tunnels, every fear, every story closed forever, all of it fed it, made it stronger, wiser. It was everything the city tried to repress. Its black, hungry soul. My pistol was in my hand. I don't remember drawing it. The shot rang out. The sound was deafening in the enclosed cavern. Black fluid, thick as tar, oozed from the hole in its chest. It didn't flinch, just tilted its head, as if examining the stream with interest. Then it chuckled softly. That sound, wet and multi-voiced, filled my head with pain. Shoot, Leo. The voice sounded in my head, now sweet as poison. Leave me one more memory. A memory of your fear when you realized it was futile. I turned and ran. Not toward the manhole, not toward the exit. I just ran into the darkness, away from that laughter that pursued me, from the smell that clung to me. I ran for hours. Days, it seemed. The tunnels changed, twisted, led me in circles. My flashlight died. I wandered by touch, feeling the walls breathe under my fingers. And in the distance, always in the distance, echoed the soft choir. Now I understood the words. They were praying for an end, for oblivion. But there would be none. I'm still here. Somewhere. My notebook is almost out. I'm writing this by the light of the scanner screen, which still has a little power left. I've heard its footsteps the whole time. It's not in a hurry. It knows I'm its. And I know it now, too. I won't eat. I won't drink. I won't even die, not the way they understand it up there. I will become part of the collection. My terror, my voice will replenish its archive. So if anyone ever finds this, don't look for me. Don't look for those who vanished. Forget us. Please, forget. Because every memory, every thought of us feeds it. Every one of your fears that's somewhere out there, in the darkness, someone is waiting. It feels it. It finds its way by it. It's coming for everyone. Just forget.